Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Tuesday, the 25th of August 2026. Today was match day, double match day. The under 21s played as well, but we'll start off with the first team game, of course, the cup game, the victory. It was a victory, and here we go. Cooper winner puts Lions through in Carabao Cup. 1-0 victory. We won 1-0. Jake Cooper scored with his feet. And what can you say? I watched it on the television. For the first half of the first half, we were very good. The rest, after that, not so much. Especially in the second half. Just dropping back, defensive. In that first half, we were on the ball, we were controlling the game, we were moving the ball around, we dictated the pace of the game. We were a threat all the time, and then gradually we let them get more and more into it. And I don't know if it's because the players are tired. Obviously, massive rotation, more than I expected. A lot more than I expected, but it worked. We won the game, so all's well that ends well, I guess. It was very eggy at the end there. They were pressing for that winner. We were having to foul them, give fouls away, corners at the end as well. And you're thinking, oh my god, here we go. It's going to go to penalties. It's going to be 1-1. It's going to go to penalties. But no, we held on. 1-0 victory. Another clean sheet. Even though all the personnel were changed except for Jake Cooper, another clean sheet. So yeah, Jake Cooper scored the winner as Millwall advanced to round 3 of the Carabao Cup with a second round victory over Cambridge United on Tuesday night. The captain, aye captain, popped up in the 10th minute to fire home the only goal of the game and to put the Lions through at the Cladara Abbey Stadium. Alex Neil made 10 T-E-N 10 changes for the second round tie, with Cooper the sole survivor from Saturday's Sky Bet Championship win over Norwich City. There were debuts for Elkan Baggott and Danny Batty, while Jordan Asu Tutu, Lyndon Dykes and Zach Lovelace were all landed first starts for the club. That was Zach Lovelace's first start. Seriously? I guess probably it must have been. Because he keeps getting injured. He came in, he was played as a sub, then he went to Rangers, and then he's come back. If they say. Now, here's the thing. Not only were there changes, players were just completely dropped out and were missing. Arcont, Coburn, some others as well. Off the top of my head, can't remember. Under 21 prospects Archie Kirby, Tristan Parks and Sasha Sugita Vieira were among the substitutes, but I think they were there just in case. I think they were there just to, if there was an injury. I don't think they were probably ever considered seriously to come off the bench. The Lions started the first half on the front foot, but the host enforced a set piece and made Millwall defend. On 7 minutes, however, came the first chance of the night as Dykes took aim from around 20 yards out and curled an effort onto the crossbar. Yeah, and the keeper was beaten, so that could have went in, but it hit the crossbar. From there, the Lions then peppered the Cambridge goal with Luke Condor, East Bangor Williams and Bath all trying their luck. The latter seeing Millwall hit the crossbar for the second time, but the ball was then eventually forced home by Cooper to open the scoring after just 10 minutes. The U's attempted to get back into the game as the midway point of the half came and went, with Suloi Kai forcing Max Crokerman into grabbing the ball at his near post and a cross from the right having to be headed away by Cooper. Kel Watts' strike was then blocked by Alfie Massey with a header from Liam Bennett rolling wide of Crokerman's far post in the final action of the half. Isaac Heath fired over for the hosts as the second half began, before Dykes' flick on almost sent Danny Kelly away, only for him to be fouled by Patrick Bear who was then booked. A cross into the Cambridge box somehow bounced into the arms of Crocombe, with a triple Millwall substitution following, as Mark Sykes, Jensen Metcalfe and Camille Negley replaced Osei Tutu, Kelly and Lovelace, and that was on the hour mark, so that was pre-programmed. Cambridge swept forward on 67 minutes, but Glenn McConnell drove wide before a further lines change happened at left back as Zach Sturge replaced Baggett, though Baggett wasn't really playing at left back. We'll talk about it in a minute. Sturge had to hack away from danger in his first real involvement with 17 minutes left to play, while Bangor Williams had to withdraw 4 minutes later as AJ Matthews took his place. It looked like he cramped up. It looked like it was cramp, but they just took him off. Come off. Dykes nodded on for Matthews as the last 10 minutes got underway, but he was beaten to the punch by Jake Eastwoods in the Cambridge goal, while at the other end, substitute Shane Lavery struck his shot wide. Dykes almost produced a piece of magic with 6 minutes remaining as he controlled the shot from the floor, but his effort trickled wide. Callum Perry's free kick rolled into the arms of Crocombe in stoppage time, and the substitute's free kick was then deflected wide as the home side finished strong, but the Lions held on to claim a place in round 3. Indeed. And here we go. So this is the team and the subs bench. Max Crocombe, Danny Bath, Jake Cooper, Elkin Baggett, Alfie Massey, Geordie S.A. Tutu, Rahis Bangor Williams, Luke Condell, Danny Kelly, Zach Lovelace, Lyndon Dykes. The subs bench was Zach Sturge, Camille Negley, Jensen Metcalfe, Mark Sykes, AJ Matthews, Joel Coleman, Archie Kirby, Sasha Sugita Vieira, and not Tristan Crama. Not Tristan Parks. Even Millwall got it wrong. This is Millwall's own website and they got it wrong. Someone put it up as Tristan Crama. I think maybe the PA or whoever does it. Whoever's in charge of the thing. Whatever that company's called. Is it Football Data Co? Is that what they're called? I don't know. They keep changing their names. I don't know what's going on. It's not Tristan Crama. It's Tristan Parks, which is, obviously it's kind of disrespectful for the young lad. Because he will tell everyone that he was on the bench for this game, and they'll check it and they'll say, well, you're a fucking liar, it wasn't you, it's Tristan Crama. But yeah, so obviously Jensen dropped out as well, so Jensen Crocombe, Jensen Coburn and Arcont dropped out. Lisby dropped out. Lisby was in the away end. Lisby was in with the Millwall fans, because I presume he still lives in the area, being a former Peterborough player. I don't know, but he was in the crowd. So there you go. Now we played 3 centre backs. We played 3 at the back because we played the 3 centre backs. Elkin Baggett wasn't really a full back. A left back. It was 3 centre backs. Danny Kelly as the left wing back, Tutu as the right wing back, and then whatever was going on, the rest of the players was going on. Alfie Massey kind of in that central DM role for the whole 90 minutes. So yeah, interesting that Massey played the 90 minutes, Condell played the 90 minutes, Dykes played the 90 minutes. They didn't take them off. But yeah, like I said, really, really good in the first 25 minutes, and then after that, not so much. And then as the game went on and on and on, obviously the changes coming in. They changed formation, so we did start off as 3 at the back, 5 at the back, and then we changed formation to counter their changing of formation. So. But it all worked out. It did all work out in the end. So, yeah, there you go. We are through to the next round, boys. David Rock. 1,423 Mill fans in attendance. Well attended. Obviously, a lot of speculation, people trying to offload their tickets because they just bought them for the 10 lottery points. But it was pretty much looked like a full away stand to me, anyway. So, and they made a lot of noise. They did make a lot of noise. So there you go. We got some pictures from the game. Cup action under the lights. Millwall 1-0 winners over Cambridge United in the Carabao Cup second round on Tuesday night. Take a look at the best imagery from the Caldara Abbey Stadium in the match gallery below as Jake Cooper put the Lions through to round 3. There you go. So that looks like it's the same thing. Like he shoots and he scores. Now this is the earlier situation. Looks like Lyndon Dykes hitting the crossbar. This is unrelated to that. This is separate. So I don't think they're in order. That's Luke Gundle. Interesting that we're playing in the white socks. Because obviously our other socks are dark blue. Dundee blue, whatever you call it. Royal blue. I don't know. Not royal blue. Navy blue. Dark blue, you know. And they play in black socks. They made us change to white socks. So there you go. That happened. I mean, in terms of, I thought Bangor Nims was very good today. Kundal was alright. Massey was alright. Kelly was pretty good as well. I mean, in what he was doing, playing as a left wing back. Zach Lovelace, yeah, he was alright. I mean, you know, we've barely seen him, we've barely played, but he was alright. I mean, it doesn't seem to be, you know, he just seems to be very average in a lot of things, rather than just, you know, he's not very tall, he's not very quick. I think he was quicker before he got injured. He's not very quick, so just an average kind of player, doesn't have any standout abilities. But then when you compare him with Matthews, he's streets ahead of Matthews. I think he's younger than him as well. I think he's 20 years old, is he? He's still only 20, is Zach Lovelace. So, you know, we came through when he was 15. Went away to Rangers for a couple of years. He's come back, been here for, a year or so. So now he's like 20 years old. Yeah, I think everyone was, you know, pretty solid. But, yeah. I don't know who got man of the match. I guess we'll see in the stats video tomorrow. Probably Jake Cooper, I'd imagine, because he scored the goal and he did have a solid defensive performance. But there you go. Now, this is some post-match comments from the irishnews.com. Yeah, interesting, eh? Travelling around the world. Mill did what they needed to do, Alex Neil. Jake Cooper's goal was enough for a 1-0 win over Cambridge in the Carabao Cup. Alex Neil felt his Millwall side saw off Cambridge pressure well in the Carabao Cup. The Championship side progressed 1-0 thanks to defender Jake Cooper's early goal. The lads did what they needed to. They played really well in spells, and we just defended really well in spells as well. For me, it was a good all-round sort of performance. Can we play a bit more fluently? Of course we can, but I thought the other bits we needed to do, we did them well. It's always nice to continue to win games. You know, we started the season really well. These games are never easy for anyone, are they? You know, we made 10 changes to the side. I think it's important that we try to continue the momentum that we started this season. Neil Harris, up against his former club, felt his Cambridge side had performed strongly after the blow of going behind early on. The first 10 minutes of the game, you know, that was a real lesson for us. So a real lesson for the ground, for the players, for everybody, you know, to see the levels. And, you know, the next 80 minutes, I thought it was excellent. You know, we grew into the game, and I thought the players performed very well, and I thought we were the better team for 80 minutes. In the first half, without overly creating too much, you know, we got into really good areas, but didn't quite have either the belief or the cutting edge. Maybe just the ability in the final third, one versus against good players. You know, the second half was much better. So yeah. Indeed. So that's pretty much sums it up. They were, you know, the better team for about 80 minutes. But they didn't score though, did they? They didn't score. Right. All's well that ends well. 10 changes, we're through to the next round. Let's have a look at that. What's that about then? What's going on with this? Have they done the draw already? No, they ain't. I'll tell you. When is it? I'm going to tell you. Calm down. I'm going to tell you. This is from EFL.com. Carabao Cup Round 3 draw details. Are you excited? The big boys are coming in now. The Man United, the Liverpools. They're coming in now. The draw for round 3 of the Carabao Cup will take place live on Sky Sports following the conclusion of Preston North End's round 2 tie against Everton on Wednesday the 26th of August. So this one is happening after the game rather than this one where it was before the game. So this is after the game. So probably quite late then, I would imagine. Right, what, about 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock? Oh dear. As a result of the expanded European competition calendar and the fixture clashes it presents, additional conditions will be required for this draw. Round 3 fixtures will take place across 2 weeks, which is the week beginning the 7th of September and the week beginning the 14th of September. Why? Well, with fixtures in the Champions League in the week beginning the 7th of September, and in the Europa League, the week beginning the 14th of September, also happening at the same time. As UEFA competition fixtures cannot be rescheduled, and to enable the Carabao Cup to proceed within its agreed schedule without disrupting other league or domestic cup fixtures, the additional conditions will ensure that the 8 clubs participating in the Champions League or Europa League cannot meet each other in round 3 of the Carabao Cup. So the games have to take place on the 7th or the 14th. But if they had an open draw and you had a team playing in the Champions League playing a team in the Europa League, the game could not take place because it couldn't take place on the 7th because the Champions League team, and it couldn't take place in the 14th because of the Europa League team. Do you understand? That's a problem. It's a conundrum, isn't it? We need to solve that. So this will mean that the teams drawn each tie will be able to fulfill the fixture in one of the allocated weeks. No draw conditions will be required for the round 4 draw, so it's just for this draw. Okay. So the additional conditions will ensure that the 8 clubs participating in the Champions League or Europa League cannot meet each other in round 3 of the Carabao Cup. While Brighton and Hove Albion will also be in Europe, they play in the Conference League, and that competition does not begin until October, so that will not affect their round 3 schedule. So Brighton are in the pot with everyone else. Okay. Overall, the Carabao Cup round 3 draw will include 32 clubs, 23 winners from round 2, and the 9 Premier League teams competing in UEFA competitions. Pre-draw. So they're going to have 2 draws tomorrow. They're going to have 2 draws. Before the main draw, there will be a pre-draw to decide whether each of the 8 Champions League and Europa League clubs will be home or away. This will take place live on Sky Sports during the build-up to Preston versus Everton. So before Preston versus Everton, they will have this draw, and they will draw out the teams that are the 8 teams that are conflicted between the Champions League and Europa League. So, and we can have a look at those teams now. These are those teams. This is from a website called Casiesa.net. It's a website that tracks coefficient of the teams and countries in terms of their UEFA rankings. And this is the coefficient for 2027, which will be decided by the teams competing in 2026-27 season, and these are those teams. The 9 teams playing in Europe for England are Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Manchester United, Brighton and Hove Albion, AFC Bournemouth, playing in Europe for the first time in their history in the Europa League, Sunderland AFC, and Crystal Palace. As we mentioned, Brighton are in the Conference League, so that's not affecting them. So these are the other teams. So what they're going to do in the pre-draw, they're going to draw out Liverpool, and then they're going to draw out a ball that will say home or away. Because in the main draw, to be conducted after the round 2 tie, the first 8 ties will involve those Champions League and Europa League clubs, with their home or away position having already been decided, and each will be drawn against the club from a separate bowl containing the remaining teams. Once those 8 ties have been drawn, the final 8 ties will be drawn as normal. From round 3 onwards, the draw will no longer be split into northern and southern sections. So it's an open draw, not regional. See, did you get that? Before the game tomorrow, the Preston-Everton game, they're going to draw out Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, etc., etc. And then they will draw out a ball that will say home or away. After the game, they're going to draw out those teams. They're going to put those 8 teams in a pot. They're going to draw them out first, so it will be one of the European teams and then one of the other teams. So that we will know very quickly in that draw if we get one of them, because it's the first 8 ties. They're going to draw, so they'll draw out Liverpool, and then they'll draw out a ball from the other pot, which could be Peterborough, because they made it through. So there are the details. We don't know the ball numbers yet. They'll probably publish them tomorrow, I would imagine. But we do know the teams. Some of them. There are still some games to be played. These are the results. This is from Wikipedia for the 26-27 EFL Cup. The teams that have gone through from the northern section: Middlesbrough, Barnsley, Sheffield United, Lincoln City, Fleetwood Town, who are the lowest ranked team still in the competition. They are a League 2 team and they beat another League 2 team, Shrewsbury Town, to go through. How about that? Nice trip to Fleetwood Town. When is the draw? They didn't tell us the day of the games. Oh yeah, 7th, 14th. They did tell us. So yeah, the 7th or the 14th. So I don't know what happens if you're not involved in Europe. Can you choose which? Do you just choose which week, or do they decide for themselves? I don't know. So if you draw a team that's not involved in Europe, 2 teams, do you decide? Does the home team suggest a week and then it has to be confirmed? I don't know. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Hull City, who needed penalties, only one of 2 games today that had to be decided by penalties. They needed penalties against Stoke City. Leeds United are through. They were playing Nottingham Forest, so Nottingham Forest the only Premier League team that's been knocked out so far, but they did play another Premier League team. Tomorrow we have Bradford City versus Burnley, Newcastle United versus West Brom, and Preston versus Everton. This will be, obviously the draw is after these games will take place, so we will know. In the southern section, the teams that made it through: Norwich City, Millwall, Ipswich Town, Coventry City, West Ham United, who were losing 1-0 to Southampton, and they came back. They ended up winning 4-1. Reading, Leyton Orient, who needed penalties to beat Walsall, so that's the other game that finished in penalties. Peterborough United, who absolutely smashed Watford 5-1. Poor old Watford, eh? And then Brentford, who beat Birmingham City 6-1. And there's a game tomorrow, Tottenham versus Charlton, so I might watch that. If Danny McNamara is starting for Charlton, I might watch that. See how he gets on. And then, for some bizarre reason, on Thursday, I have no idea why they've allowed them to do this. Chelsea and Fulham at home at the same time on the same day, on a Thursday, when they could have had one of them playing on a Wednesday or a Tuesday. What sense does that make? I don't know. Oh no, because they played on Monday. That's why. Now I've just figured it out. I was looking at this before, thinking, what the hell's going on here? It's because they both played on Monday, didn't they? They both played Monday night. Yeah. That's why they've done it. But then you've got the ground's 2 miles apart. And they're letting them play, I guess, sanitised Premier League. It's a different world now, isn't it? Back in the day, they would never let them do this. But I guess, Chelsea, Luton, Fulham, AFC Wimbledon. So, if we do draw, we could get a draw where it's Chelsea, Luton, Fulham or AFC Wimbledon, and we won't know. We'll have to wait. But, I mean, for round 3, I think we want another shit team, don't we? I think we want another shit team so we can get through. I would take Leyton Orient. Personally, I think we could easily beat them. Obviously, this takes place after the transfer window is closed. Fleetwood Town. I'll take Fleetwood Town all day long. Maybe even Lincoln City, even though they're in our league, I think we'll beat them. Barnsley, I think Barnsley are pretty good. So as long as that, maybe Barnsley at home, I'll take that. Yeah. But I think we want another shit team, and then in the next round we'll see who's there, and we'll get. Obviously, you're gonna have to play the good. The further you get, you're gonna have to play the good teams later on in the quarterfinals, in the semi-finals. You have to, because that's all the only teams that will be left. So yeah, there you go. This is draw. Like I said, it's happening tomorrow after the Preston game. That is on Sky, so keep an eye on that. Now, moving on to this, from footballleagueworld.co.uk. Femi Azeez, guess what they're going to talk about? Well, yeah, so apparently Wrexham are going to bid for Femi Azeez now. So, silly season is getting even sillier. Brighton face Wrexham threat in race to land multi-million-pound Millwall deal. So now it's Brighton or Wrexham. What happened to Hull? Oh, yeah, they signed someone. What happened to Ipswich? Oh, yeah, they signed someone. So, yeah. According to the Daily Mail, I'm sure, it's not even the main story. It's just like a little piece there, According to the Daily Mail, the Red Dragons want to add the winger to Phil Parkinson's side ahead of the 1st of September deadline. The 25-year-old's future has been questioned ever since the Lions' failure to gain promotion last season, with Alex Neil's side losing in the playoff semi-finals. The London outfit earned a 3rd place finish in the championship. This is the thing with these stories. They're waffling on. Whereas the headline, talk about the thing in the headline. What are you waffling on about? What are you talking about, man? Where is the beef? Où est la bouffe? Where is the beef? It's understood. Again, repeating. Understood by whom? And for what? And why do you understand? Did someone tell you? That Wrexham have joined the race for Aziz's signature in the final days of the transfer window. The Welsh outfit are looking to bolster their squad before the market closes and have already agreed a deal to sign Jack Akomi from Angers. And now their attention could turn to Azeez, who has earned a lot of plaudits for his performances for Millwall in the Championship last season. However, they face competition from Premier League side Brighton, who are weighing up an attempt to sign the forward. It remains to be seen whether the Lions will be willing to sell to a potential promotion rival, or what asking price it will take to convince the club to cash in. Well, we know it's 25 million plus. Wrexham finished 7th last season and will be targeting at least a playoff place in this campaign, with their sights set on a place in the Premier League. Wrexham fans are frustrated with the club's transfer business and concerned that they are now panicking as we approach the 1st of September deadline. So again, we've got a headline. They don't address anything in the headline. It's just repeating and waffling. And then they've gone to the old tried and true classic, copying tweets and just publishing the tweets to create a narrative like Panic Buy Express. And this is what Simon Jones at the Daily Mail. Wrexham are exploring moves for Millwall attacker Femi Azeez and Ipswich's Anis Mehmeti as they look to bolster their attack. Some supporters are excited, particularly as it would weaken Millwall. But the London's outfit supporters are optimistic the 25-year-old will not be signed for Wrexham this summer. Wrexham have been told it will cost them $30 million to complete a deal with a move. Look at this. Look. They state as a fact, Wrexham have been told that it will cost them $30 million to complete a deal with Millwall, with a move to the Premier League considered more likely. Where did they get that from? They get that because this guy tweeted, KLCMFC, Premier League or 30 million. And then they state that as fact. It's some random guy who's not even verified on Twitter writes that, and now that's fact. this, we're scraping the barrel here. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. But yeah. So obviously Ipswich made a bid, got knocked back, they didn't come back. Hull apparently were interested, they moved on and they went to someone else. And now they're trying to drum up business, Brighton. Now Brighton are involved in Europe, so they need to bolster their squad, they need to make it bigger. Maybe Bournemouth as well, but Wrexham, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure about that. Talking of Femi Azeez, let's move on to this. Have you look at that? We'll look at that, by the way. We'll look at that. James Bond, shaken not stirred. This is Femi Azeez and Tristan Crama. Yeah, there he is. He's not on the bench, he's there. This is the red carpet at the PFA Awards 2026 at the Manchester Opera House. There you go. Now, why are they there? They won awards. They were involved. They won an award. They were in the team of the season. They were in the championship team of the season. Much like they were for the EFL Awards at the end of the last season. This PFA Awards, Professional Footballers Association, is the union for the footballers. And here we go. This is a freeze frame of the red carpet. Not the actual ceremony, it's just the outside. This is on 1 hour, 5 minutes and 40 seconds. There you go. Femi Azeez actually does go over to the guy. There's a guy interviewing people for this video and live. This was the live stream. And he does go over and speak to the guy. So, there you go. This is where Femi Azeez and Tristan Crama were today. They were in Manchester. And there you go. Now, moving on to this. This is pre-match comments or post-match comments. Post-match comments from Saturday, but this was posted this morning. So it's pre-today's match. This is from the southernnews.co.uk. Alex Neil explains Zach Lovelace's decision as Millwall considers forward's next step. Alex Neil explained why he brought Zach Lovelace on for his second first-team Millwall appearance against Norwich City on Saturday and what role the forward might have this season. Lovelace, 20, replaced goalscorer Tika Arcont in the 71st minute with the Lions 2-0 up and Norwich down to 10 men. Luke Cundle added a late third as Millwall cruised to a comfortable home win. I just went for the team profile. What I mean by that is I thought the game was in our favour, With Josh Coburn as a target man, if you're looking for similarities in terms of our comp, Zach Lovelace is probably as close as we'll get. If you go with the two big lads, who really wants to stretch in and behind? Maybe not as much, so, where does Zach wants to run? So that's why I put him on, and then we shifted him on the left, and we made a few more changes in the middle. Lovelace has been hampered by injury since rejoining Millwall from Rangers in January 2025. He underwent knee surgery shortly after his return, then made one substitute appearance against Southampton last season before suffering a hamstring injury. Neil was asked what role Lovelace might have this season. It depends, because what we've got now is a cohort of younger players, and they're not going to get as many minutes as they need. We probably need to get them out on loan. The problem we've got as it stands is we're calculating numbers ourselves, so we've got to look after the club first. That comes first and foremost. Although we want our younger players to play, but the problem is, if you got to say to me, they're like, right, why are you not playing Zach Lovelace? And I'll say, okay, well, I'll put our Conte on the bench then, and then you might change your mind. It's quite clear that our Conte is better than Zach Lovelace for sure. But obviously, I think isn't he 4 years older than him? So hopefully in 4 years' time, if Zach Lovelace is at the level of our Con, that would be nice. We also have this. This is post match from the Norwich game, put up this morning. This is from the southernnews.co.uk. Much more understanding and knowledge. Neil assesses Millwall midfielders' impressive showing against Norwich. Alex Neil said Jensen Metcalfe played with a lot more understanding and knowledge against Norwich City. Metcalfe, 21, impressed in his third competitive appearance for the Lions, being named man of the match in a 3-0 win over the Canaries. It was just the second championship game the midfielder has started in his career. Jensen certainly got the appetite to go and get up and after the ball. I thought he played with much more understanding and knowledge today. I said that to him after the game when I was talking to him on the pitch. He's starting to pick it up more and more, and he'll only improve. You know, he's only a young player and he's desperate to do well. So that's a good starting point, by the way. Metcalf signed for the Lions from League One side Bradford City at the start of the transfer window. He came through Everton's academy and has spent on loan at League Two side Chesterfield before signing for Bradford permanently in the summer of 2025. So, there you go. Now, talking about this. What is this? This is from millfc.co.uk and they're talking to you. They're talking to you about the junior takeover day. It's going to be soon. It's the Bolton game, which is, in 2 Saturdays' time? So it's not this Saturday, next Saturday, I believe. Saturday the 5th of September. It's the takeover day. 6 junior Lions are required to help out the club staff with their respective roles. Fancy yourself or your young one as the perfect candidate if you're aged between 8 to 14 and want to give it a go. Fill in the form above, answer the questions, let us know which role you are interested in, and we will get back to you. Good luck. Entries close on Monday the 31st of August, which is Bank Holiday Monday. So they are looking for a PA announcer. Bye for now. Commentator, a reporter, a videographer, a photographer, and a grounds person. So there you go. They want junior Lions. Presumably you have to be a junior Lion, yeah? Well, it says junior Lions. So 6 of you come forward, do some work experience, and get involved. And there you go. The form is here. It's a survey from surveymonkey.com. Right, let's get on with this weird under 21 game. Under 21 game today. We lost 4-2, as you can see. We were 2-0 up at half time. We ended up losing 4-2. I don't know how we were 2-0 up at half time because Huddersfield were the better team in the first half. They just didn't finish their chances, and we somehow finished 2 chances. Massimo Luongo started, although looking at this, he played the first 45 minutes. So you look at this and you think, okay, so we were 2-0 up in the first half. Luongo goes off at half time, and then they collapse. So ipso facto, correlation versus causation. Luongo was running the show, and when he got taken off, it changed the whole game. No. He looked very rusty indeed. His passing was off. I don't know why a knee injury would affect your eyesight, but apparently it does. His passing was very rusty, giving the ball away, just passing behind people so it goes out for a throw in, stuff like that. A couple of times, it wasn't completely that, but mostly that. But to be honest, it didn't help. I think the younger players kind of think that he was like Superman, because obviously he's played in the Premier League. I think did he play in the World Cup? So he's played at the top level. But there was one occasion where he was surrounded by 3 players and they passed it to him. It's like, what do you think he's going to do with that? He's got absolutely swarmed and lost the ball. It's like, come on, lads, come on, don't stitch him up like that, But entirely unrelated to Luongo playing. What happened? I think it was around about the 60th minute. I think they made a triple substitution, and that changed the game. They went 3 at the back, which was narrow, but then went wide. It kind of alternated, but with 2 deep holding midfielders. So it was literally 3-2-5, because obviously they were 2-0 down. So it's like they hit the emergency in case of losing. the emergency formation, 3-2-5. Let's get more players up front, and we can press, and we can nick the ball and score some goals. So seemingly a 3-2-5. So the tactical change was there, but also they did something that was a bit cheeky, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But we get the match report from millfc.co.uk. Millwall under 21s versus Huddersfield Town. The Young Lions narrowly lost out. Narrowly? 4-3 is narrowly, not 4-2. Narrowly lost out in a 6-goal game against Huddersfield Town. The first chance of the match fell to the visitors as a long throw caused danger in the Young Lions box. The ball was cleared only as far as Zach Boker, whose dinked delivery found the head of Jacob Costley. Costley's subsequent header sailed just over the crossbar. Despite Huddersfield starting the match in the ascendancy, yes, see, it was Millwall who broke their deadlock, as an excellent George Bowman outswinging corner perfectly met the head of Elias Mansour, who nodded the ball past Hugo Bennett at the near post in the 15th minute. There you go, that's the header. Bosh, have some of that. Set piece goal. They were the better team. They lost the goal to a set piece. Now they're losing the game. James Spencer almost levelled the scores 3 minutes later as his 30-yard free kick was heading for the top left corner, but Jacob Przewozny managed to tip the ball over the bar. Beaumont provided another pinpoint delivery, this time finding Regan Anderson in the 6-yard box, who poked the ball just wide of an outstretched leg. Anderson was involved with the game, this time turning creator as he found Femi Azeez 12 yards from goal. Azeez turned his man and fired a powerful low strike under the goalkeeper into the back of the net for 2-0 halfway through the first half. With Kevin Nugent's team firmly in control, it was almost free shortly before the break on 2 occasions, the first of which was a well-weighted Beaumont through ball that saw Ayman Sheikh race in on goal 1v1, but a good low stop from Bennett thwarted Sheikh's strike. The second opportunity was created following some excellent pressure and physicality from Daniel Emuse, who tackled and shrugged off Maxwell Murray before cutting into the box and delivering low to the on-rushing Beaumont, who saw his 6-yard box effort saved at close range. Przewozny produced a superb save 12 minutes into the second 45 to maintain the 2-goal advantage, denying Boker at very close range of a reflex stop to his right. Yeah, like how did he not score that? How did he not score that? It was insane. But yeah, the Terriers did grab a goal back as Fortune Fonta won the ball high at the pitch before breaking into the middle box and squaring for Spencer, who produced a composed finish to reduce the Yorkshire side's deficit. On the 70-minute mark, Huddersfield levelled proceedings as a well-placed out-swinging corner met the head of Antoine Sanchez at the near post, whose glancing header found the back of the net. Now, hang on a minute. Is there more than one Antoine Sanchez? Because that was the name of the guy that was on trial with us in the Brighton game, I think. So, has he signed for Huddersfield? Or is there another guy called Antoine Sanchez? I don't know. Very weird. Within 2 minutes of the restart, the comeback was complete as Fonta was adjudged to have been brought down by Przewozny in the box, and the referee pointed to the spot. Spencer Blatty's penalty to Przewozny's right, sending him the wrong way to give the away side the lead. Yeah, it was a penalty, and it was one of them. The ball was going out, so it was off. It wasn't anywhere near the goal. It was off to the side of the goal. So I don't know why. He kind of went in on him, I don't know. But I couldn't really see it. It was down the other end. The 3 points were sealed by the Terriers with 10 to go as the ball was only half cleared following a corner. And after several short headers, the ball fell kindly to Marley Neal, who slotted the ball in for 6 yards out. The match fizzled out after the 6th goal, and the match ended 4-2 to the visitors. Attention is now firmly on the trip to Fleetwood Town next Tuesday as Kevin Nugent's team return to Professional Development League action. The team was as follows. Now, obviously, it's a very young team. We've seen 4 of the players, at least, the under-21s who were on the bench for the first team. Sugita Vieira, Kirby, Parks, and the other one. Who was the other one? Who was the other one? Who was the other one? No, I thought it was 4. only 3. Probably AJ Matthews, but but yeah. So the team was Prozwozny, Archer, Amuse, Luongo, the Bell, trialist. Now the trialist was the same trialist as before, playing at centre back. Lloyd Forey Manto was at Norwich City. Beaumont, Mansour, Olikoya, Sheikh, and Anderson. Now Beaumont is coming back for injury, much like Luongo, so he got taken off, and he's probably one of the more attacking players for the under 21s in terms of creativity, in terms of setting things up. And the thing as well, when they took Luongo off, they swapped him out for Hammond Chains. Now Hammond Chains is more of an attacking midfielder player, much like in the Kundal role, kind of like a number 10. So when they took Luongo off, he was sitting deep and sitting in front of the back 4, and then you swap him out for Hammond Chains. It's not really the same. It's not like for like, you understand. So that kind of affected things as well. But what I want to tell you, right? So this is ridiculous, right? What they did, Huddersfield, what they did. Oh, they made 3 changes, and one of them was a 37-year-old man playing in the under 21s. And you think, well, they're allowed 3 overage players and 1 overage goalkeeper. They were allowed to play 4 overage players. He has specifically been bought or signed to play for their under 21s. A 37-year-old man, John Hogg. He's an English professional. This is his Wikipedia page. He's an English professional footballer and coach who plays as a defensive midfielder and player coach for the Huddersfield Town Academy. Not Huddersfield Town, for the Academy. Yes. This is what is going on with under 21 football, bruv. This is just ridiculous. Look at this. So on the 5th of May 2025, Huddersfield announced that Hogg will be released in June when his contract expired. On the 10th of November, so last season, 2025, it was announced that he'd rejoined the club, but as a player coach for the club's academy. Presumably he's being paid as a coach, and then they've just thrown the player thing in. So he's registered as a player. Is he registered? But then he's not in the 25-man squad for Huddersfield. He's not in the first team squad. He's just in this squad. So how does that work? Is he just is he listed as a trialist in every game? A trialist. Is that what we're doing here? Like, very bizarre. So he's literally a ringer. He is a ringer. It's not like Luongo. Luongo's coming back from injury and he's match time. Let's play him for the under 21s. This guy specifically is a coach for the academy, and he plays for them as well at 37 years old. And he run the game. When he came on for them, he run the game. Like I said, they had 3 at the back, 2 holding defenders. He was the one. And he was just, getting on the ball, moving it around, spraying balls around, telling people what to do. What are we doing here, man? Because this is antithetical to what the under 21 game. Now you could imagine, like, let's play devil's advocate here. Let's straw man. Okay, the under 21 players. It's good for them to play with men's players. It improves them. They play with better players. They'll get better. They'll improve. Which is why you want to loan them out. They go to men's football. It's good for them. They improve. So to have this guy as a player coach, you could argue, well, that's good. They're playing with a good player. It's going to help them out. It's going to make them better. Especially if he's on the pitch coaching them in live time on the pitch, but also playing. But I mean, this is ridiculous. They've signed him just to play for their under-21s. And, is he like on the bench just in case? So they're losing a game 2-0. So, oh, quick, bring him on. We need, come on, bring him on. And he changes the game like that. Like, just bizarre, absolutely bizarre. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if we should we do that now? Should we get Steve Morrison back as a player coach for the under-21s? Maybe Paul Robinson. Paul Robinson's there. He's a coach. He's the assistant to Kevin Nugent. Maybe he could, register as a player and join in as well. He can come off the bench when we're losing and try and change the game. What are we doing here? This follows on from the previous game against Brighton, where they gerrymandered it so that it was only home fans in the crowd. So, like, there's all kinds of, like, dodgy stuff going on at under-21 level. It's very weird indeed, but, yeah. And you can see, look, if you scroll down, look, the stats end here. There's no stats after that. And they literally say he's player coach for the academy. It's literally here on his Wikipedia. Like, what are we doing here? But just absolutely mental, man. Absolutely mental. Just mad. They've signed a guy as a coach. Presumably that was his idea. It's like, oh, can I still play? Like, can I still get involved playing? Like, that's mad. That's absolutely mad. But yeah, that's what happened. We scored 2 goals against the run of play with 2-0 up. Then they bring this guy on and 2 other players, and the game was changed. They went to 3-2-5, and mad. Proper old school formation, that 3-2-5. You don't see many of that anymore, but madness. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.